This is a new fund that's dedicated to the memory of Stephanie Bellotti. Stephanie lost her life in a driving accident, and her parents, Vincent and Eileen, established this fund in her memory.
My husband Vincent Bellotti and I were making changes to our estate when Guy Gibson mentioned the Placer Community Foundation. We met with Veronica Blake, who was kind enough to spend the time to explain how the foundation worked and some of the specific projects. The variety and scope of the endeavors was impressive to us. What a wonderful organization. We were frankly relieved at that time that we could take care of this matter, make changes or not make changes to our current decisions, but rest easy that we didn't need to worry about the outcome in the end after we were gone. Shortly after the meeting, my husband pointed out a program for young drivers that the National Auto Sports Association had developed. My husband said, and I'm going to quote this because it's very touching, he said, "I don't want to wait till I die to help save kids' lives." Together, we are certain that we have saved lives. The Stephanie Bellotti Teen Fund we named in honor of our daughter who died in an unnecessary vehicle accident. We think the efforts we are making may keep other parents from going through what we have experienced, and that is a gratifying, wonderful feeling for us. We thought we want everyone to survive their teens.
This year we had a partnership with the County of Placer to deliver some Mental Health Services Act money and through a mini grant program. We awarded 23 grants to local organizations, to churches, and to community projects. And one of the grantees was the Soldiers Project. They provide peer support to veterans that are returning home. It's my privilege to introduce you to Dirk Elena. Dirk served our country in Iraq, and now, as you're going to see, he continues to serve our country and the men and women now that he's home.
Soldiers Project offers men and women, as well as families, spouses, girlfriends, mental health services in the form of either one-on-one or through our program called Family Ties. And one of the benefits is that it's free, confidential, and unlimited. My own personal experience with the Soldiers Project is I served in Iraq. I was a corpsman. I was a corpsman, which is a medic for the Marine Infantry. I came back injured and was put in charge of being a liaison between the injured troops coming home from my unit and their families and our unit in 29 Palms. I suffered some injuries along with PTSD, which they call the invisible wounds of war. Getting out, civilian life was an incredible adjustment. For one, you're learning when you go into the military, it's sort of a crash course, but it's kind of easy because you're with a bunch of other guys and you're learning a whole new language, but you're all speaking it, and you're only learning a whole new way of life, but you're all in it together and you're all practicing it. Then when you come out, nothing works the same way, and you don't even use the same language. There are not the same rules out here. It's really retraining yourself completely. When I came back, I was homeless. I had a very difficult time reintegrating. I spent some time in the mental facility off and on, and was just having a really hard time. I've always been a hard worker, and I can go to work, but just dealing with people, dealing with life was tremendously difficult. So it was recommended to me a couple of different times just by word of mouth, and I'm really happy that I went. I saw Carolyn on one-on-one basis, and then kind of graduated to a group thing. And now I'm in nursing school. I've met and married a beautiful, amazing woman, and and life is great, and it's because I owe it completely to the Soldiers Project, absolutely, and hard work. So thank you, Placer Community Foundation.
I'm an artist, a landscape artist actually. I work with steel and glass. So why would I go to a workshop with a contemporary abstract painter or a world-renowned ceramic artist? Because that's way outside my medium. Well, for cross-pollination, to think outside the box, to leapfrog 30 years of studio experience and watch these individuals work and talk about their approach to art. The first workshop was with Michelle Ross, and Michelle gave from her heart and soul. As an abstract artist, she has to take these very removed, remote concepts and bring them to light and make them appealing. And she managed to do that with a group of about 15 of us through reading material, through audio-visual pieces that she brought, and through just hands-on working with the material. Richard Notkin's workshop was completely different. He gave from the head and the hand. His technique is so refined and his system so thorough that you wanted to watch every movement of his fingers to appreciate what he had developed in his technique over the years. I'm really grateful for the Artist Residency Program. It's having a big impact on my thought and on my work. And I'm also really, really grateful for this cross-pollination that happens when you bring an experienced artist into our community, give us a chance to share what we know and love, and drink in everything that they're willing to share and love. And both of these artists were really, really generous.
This seminar that was put on by Chuck Loring for the Placer Land Trust came at a very good time. We're an organization that started very small, been growing, been around for 20 years. Wasn't really till the last 6, 7, 8, 9 years, somewhere in there, that we've really started to accumulate property and make a real significant difference in Placer County. Because of that, the board has evolved, and the board continues to evolve and ought to continue to evolve in the future as well. So we're at a point where we had hired permanent staff, we had a number of staff people, and things were changing. We needed to become a board that was providing the leadership and the guidance to the staff who we were expecting to then really do the job. And Chuck Loring, one of the main things that he impressed upon me was that is in fact a natural way that nonprofits grow and evolve, and that's to be expected, and we have to deal with it. Fundraising is obviously a big part of what nonprofit boards do and what they're expected to do. I think that many of our board members had a tendency to think that because we have a fundraising person who was hired for that purpose, that well, that's her job. That's what she's supposed to do. It isn't necessarily a major function of a board member, but it is. All in all, of the four, I think it was 4 board members from Placer Land Trust that attended this seminar, everybody came away with a whole list of ideas, things that we've tried. We actually met for several months following this to talk about what are we going to do, what's appropriate for Placer Land Trust, and what are we going to do to benefit our organization. And I don't know what it cost to put on the seminar, but our organization itself, as one of a couple hundred that were there, got tremendous value out of that. So we thank the Community Foundation for that. Thank you.